We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round. Hi there, my name is Tercy Engelhardt, and I want to welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast, Living in Grace by Choice. First of all, like I say every week, thank you. Thank you for being here, no matter what got you here. Trust that. Maybe a friend recommended it. Maybe it somehow just popped into your feed like things do. Who knows how you got here? But whatever that is, grateful to have you be sharing in this. And I look forward to sharing again with you in the future. So, first of all, I want to remind you that I don't have your answers. You do. But sometimes we get a clue or a guide to those answers when we listen to somebody else's story or they share some tidbits of wisdom that they've gleaned over their lifetime. And that's exactly what I do here is over my now 39 years of recovering from living an addictive lifestyle, recovering from abuse as a teenager, and then 20 years of living inside of an eating disorder and navigating a world that felt unsafe to me in not the healthiest of ways. I've gleaned over these years some insights, and I simply share them with you in the hopes that you'll hear something that will click, it'll be meaningful, and it'll help you in taking your next step. I believe we're on a journey together. I believe we're all learning how to love more fully, more often, and how to recognize when we're experiencing distractions and get ourselves back on track. So thank you for being here. Okay, so last week we talked about celebrating another success. And we're in that season where, like I said last week, kids are graduating. We live in a small town, and I was talking to a good friend of ours who went to the high school graduation of like 23 people. It's a super small town. And I think that even includes some online students. But anyhow, he was talking about the person who's valedictorian is somebody who worked with me for a year in the dairy as part of one of her classes. And I know her family and really appreciate and love her. And he was talking about her speech and how she went past in the past and shared stories of the group of people who had gone through school together that were now graduating, stories from the past, both funny and meaningful moments and events. And anyway, it all got me thinking about this notion of celebration. And then today, actually, this week, it marks a year when our English lab, Lucy, gave birth to 10 puppies, 9 live. And our life changed dramatically. And I spent the next 3 months really focusing on puppies, keeping them healthy, feeding, tucking them in, training them. And we kept one of those puppies, which is Flora. And several of those, I think 7, live locally. And so I still get to see them. One is actually here now being babysat while her owners are away on a vacation. And I noticed this morning as I was loving Lucy and appreciating Flora, how I was celebrating with them a year, something that marked a year. And so that kind of inspired this particular episode. I was going to talk about something completely different, but I'll get back to that another time. And it got me thinking about how celebration is like making a mark in time. We do that with birthdays, we do that with anniversaries. It's like a measure of where we are now and how far we've come. And that's what Jamie was doing on her valedictorian addresses. She was going back through these stories of these kids from grade school and marking the years and noting how far they've come and where they are now, and then projecting into, well, where are they going? And so I think for all of us, we can learn from. See, I think if we're on a healing journey, and I actually believe we all are, in 12 steps, they give you, tokens, and people hang to just hours in the beginning. And then those hours become days, and those days become weeks, and those weeks become months. And then the months become years, and they trade them in, and they have this token to represent for them their growth and their development. Now, for myself and for other people I know as well, and you can look for yourself, oftentimes when we're younger, celebration is like a party and can oftentimes be kind of abusive. We overdrink, we overeat. We may say things we don't mean to say, do things we don't mean to do. We have a tendency to be less conscious in celebrations. And what I want to recommend and encourage you, no matter what age you are, that what we bring to our celebrations is actually a new level of awareness, a more heightened consciousness. It's an opportunity to capture a moment in time and have it be like those tokens, something that we can acknowledge what was, what is now, and it can move us towards what is to be. We happen to be going to a wedding tomorrow, and we have 3 weddings in just our immediate community all happening this weekend. We couldn't go to all 3 of them because they're all happening the same day, but we are going to one of them. And as I was packing up the gifts and getting ready to send them, I also started thinking about how we celebrate. And as somebody who's had the honor and privilege of officiating in the past, for me, it was always and is always about helping that bride and groom stay present so they don't actually miss their own wedding, even though they are the stars. They are the reason everyone else is there. And so that's a key to celebration is, can we stay more present so that we actually don't miss that moment? And as I was filling out their cards for their gifts, I didn't necessarily think specifically about what I was going to say. It was more, I held in my heart the essence of what I wanted to communicate, and the words came out. And I'm paraphrasing now, even though I wrote them just this morning, but there's some version of, wishing and praying for them to have all the joys that a married life brings, but also the courage and the strength that when they're challenged and difficulties arise, that they see those difficulties as opportunities to love even more deeply, to care even more carefully for one another. And that's what I think celebration is. That's what I want you to work on this week. What I want you to take on is, because we're in this time of celebration, spring, moving into summer. This is this celebratory season. I noticed driving through town yesterday while I was delivering dairy, all the beautiful flowering trees. And yet just a few months ago, they were barren. And I found myself just celebrating the beauty, the leaves, the flowers, the fecundity of it all. It was just so beautiful. It is one of the things I love about Four Seasons is we get these drastic comparisons, and it helps us appreciate, or helps me appreciate, all of the seasons that we experience in nature, but also those different seasons in life. And so this week, what I'd love for you to do is really take a look at, what are you celebrating? What moves you to celebration? And how can you have celebration be a part of your daily life? Whether it's celebrating the birds singing, or celebrating something that's in your health or wellness, or your own growth, or your neighbor's growth, or something in the community, or something in our country, or there's always a reason to celebrate. And that's the question is, what moves you to celebration? Because I suggest that what moves us to celebration is we're completely present. And when we're present, we get moved. So that's what I want you to work on this week. I'll be here next week. And if you want to share with me, great. You can always chat or email me or do a message. And I love hearing from you. I also do the Tuesday sessions, which you can sign up on TercyEngelhardt.com. But in the meantime, celebrate and notice what moves you to celebration. All right, I'll be here next week, same time. And I look forward to seeing you then. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Go celebrate your life. We shall learn to lead in love.